A local pastor is now a local author, adding that to his impressive resume, of course, and he's joining us this morning to tell us all about his new book, Move. We are thrilled to welcome Pastor Tim Hatch. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Let's get right into it here and talk about really what this book is about and truly what you hope that people will take away from it.
Well, this book is actually about a personal experience of mine and my churches, and just really kind of symbolic of all of life. The title of the book is very simple: Move! Exclamation point. Because life is about moving. And there's two realities. You either move intentionally or you don't move, and everything around you moves in spite of you. And so many people wake up years later and they realize that life has changed all around them, but they haven't changed intentionally. They haven't made some attitude adjustments and some personal decisions to take their life forward in the right direction. So that's what this book is hopefully going to help people to do. Stop letting life move around you and start embracing a life that moves intentionally for you and in your favor.
It really is such a simple notion, yet it is endlessly important to our lives, as you just alluded to. So let's get right into why you just decided to do this. Certainly we have an idea of what it's about, but what led you to actually, putting pen to paper, so to speak?
Yes, so we actually, as a church, we've moved several times. In our first 5 years, I write this in the book, we moved 6 times. And so we actually titled ourselves A Church on the Move. We used to say jokingly, if you can find us, you can worship with us. Because it was about moving, finding that next location, finding where we should belong, where's our neighbors, where do we fit? And then, of course, we grew substantially as a church over the last 18 years. And so we had to find bigger spaces and bigger venues to accommodate more people. And so the book actually was the product of a series of messages that I preached many years ago as we made our final move in our North Attleboro, Massachusetts location to what is about 100,000 square foot building. And that was a huge, substantial move for us as a church. And I wanted to guide the church forward into that move with an attitude of, hey, we got to take this step or life is going to pass us by. And so I put it pen to paper because how many more people beyond our local church needs to hear this message? And even if you're not a believer, even if you're not of our faith, my hope and prayer is that this book and this content helps you move forward in the direction that you want to go in your life.
Yeah, there's a takeaway seemingly for everyone here, some true life lessons inside of this book. Part of the description says, stop settling for the good life and seek our individual plan. I mean, so you read something like that and you think, well, what could be better than the good life? Can you, explain that a little bit further, what that truly means?
Yeah, what that means is that we have plans, but, God rules. Okay, and so here's the deal. You're gonna make these ideas of what your good life is. Everybody formulates whatever the good life might be. Funny thing is as Americans, we're kind of in a bubble as to what the good life is. And if you go outside of this country for about 5 seconds, you find out that the good life is substantially different in other countries than in our context. And really, when you move out of the country or you step out of the country, you move out of your own context or move away from where you grew up, whatever, you kind of gain some perspective on maybe what you thought was the good life was not the plan for you. And how many people, they just follow a life plan because it's kind of handed to them or it's part of their context or it's part of their culture, and it's not necessarily what's best for them. And so I'm a person of faith, of course. I'm a local pastor, and I believe that there's a God in heaven who loves us and has a plan for us, but that plan doesn't always match up to what we have idealized as the good life. And so when we kind of erase that from our consciousness, if you will, and think, Lord or God, please have your way with me, things start to move in a direction that we may not have anticipated, but in the long run is better for us because it suits us, because God knows us better than anybody.
That really, is a great message for so many people out there. So when I first heard the title of the book, I was a little confused. So this has nothing to do with a car in front of me that doesn't realize that the light has turned green.
Oh yeah, it sure does. Yeah, even in that microcosmic moment, right? You got to figure out, okay, I'm not able to move in this direction, and so how do I embrace that? But on the bigger picture, of course not. It's about your big picture of life, and I list 7 beatitudes. I call them the beatitudes of movement, and so you got to embrace an attitude of how to move forward intentionally again, and not just as a result of the world around you moving. You can't stop the movement, so move right.
Great stuff, Pastor Tim. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with the book.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You bet. You guys can, of course, pick up a copy of the new book, Move, perfect for a last-minute gift idea for the holidays.